All right, let's get over to the kitchen now and check in for the first time with Culinary Director Judi Gallagher. Hi, Judi, how are you?
Hi there, Scott, and I'm really glad we live in Sarasota, Florida, so we can power walk the bridge for free. So today, I have a theme that for us locals, we may say, wow, what is she doing? I'm making something that sounds summery, but we live in Florida, so many of us have outdoor kitchens or access to grill outdoors. This is something you can certainly use a griddle pan indoors, but as all our snowbirds start coming back and our friends and relatives are getting away from the Arctic blasts and coming down, what they want is the summery flavors that they can't get. So sure, you can make a beef stew or that spicy Thai soup I had on the other day. This is just a great recipe to have when you have people coming to unthaw from the north. So we're cooking with flank steak, one of my favorite things to use. When I was a child, my mom would pour a bottle of French dressing on flank steak and marinate it and just broil it, and it was actually delicious. Today we're going to make our own rub, be a little creative, and serve it with a bright salsa I think you're all going to enjoy. Well, we're back in the kitchen and we're ready to go. So I have our flank steak. What we want to do now is we want to make a dry rub. While you can buy plenty of different dry rubs, I find it really enjoyable to create different flavors depending on what else I'm serving. So I'm going to start with my dry mushroom rub, and I'm going to mix, that's going to be about 3/4 of the positioning of the seasoning. Always a little paprika. You can either use the sweet or the hot. Because I'm going to use a little ancho chili powder, I don't want it too spicy, a little cayenne, so I'm going to go a little bit light and dark chili powder. And then of course we're going to use some salt. Garlic salt is fantastic for this, or of course I love that basil salt over at very coarse at the Spice and Tea Exchange. Now we're going to add some brown sugar. You have to remember, whenever you're grilling, when there's any type of sugar or honey in it, you want to make sure that the grill is not too high because that sugar is going to burn. So now we take our flank steak and we cover it liberally. What you're going to do is you're going to take it right out of the refrigerator, get it out of that packaging. 10 minutes after it's out, bring it so it'll start to come up to room temperature. We're going to do the rub. The rub does not need to be on it more than 15 minutes. Not something you want to do like overnight. Okay, so that's the first step, and we have that done. So let me just wipe the rub off my hands. Now, if you're going to be grilling vegetables with this, awesome. Touch it up with a little seasoning as well. Let's get a little bit of olive oil over here, just a drizzle to add some moisture. Flank steak doesn't have a lot of fat. Now remember, flank steak is tricky because you have to make sure you cut against the grain, and I'll show you how to do that in the next segment. You don't have to worry. So this is going to sit for a little bit, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to put it on our griddle pan. That's going to start the process, or of course, like I said, outside on the outdoor grill. If you're going to make this and you're not going to serve it right away, all you have to do is cook it very rare and then wrap it in a little bit of aluminum foil, and that's going to hold the temperature. I have one already done that I cooked in my own barbecue at home, so we'll get to slicing that. When we come back, we're going to make a really nice avocado corn relish with some bright peppers and things, and we're going to talk about romaine lettuce and the issues that are there right now and how to substitute some other greens to make this bright, beautiful dish. I'll be back in just a few minutes, and a flavor of summer is in the air. That's right, Scott. So in between the few minutes of breaks, I already have the second flank steak done. It's beautiful. It's so bright and flavorful. I put just a little bit of minced garlic and minced shallots on the griddle pan and then just put it right on top of it. The heat is off. I'm going to pull it in just a minute. Now let's get to what we're going to do for a type of relish. Beautiful bright tomatoes, and you know, we're coming into our own Florida tomato season, which is really exciting. The grape tomatoes are just looking great. And then a little fresh corn, and you do not have to cook the corn. I use the bi-color corn because I think it just tastes really well with the different blends. It's not too sweet. And then we're going to add some diced red pepper. And I'm really excited because Chef Mark from Fins at Sharky's will be on the Suncoast View today at 4. And he left me a little bit of his version of a bright romesco sauce. So that's going to go on the very top of the steak. A little bit of red onion, not too much, because the red onions right now are running really strong. Now let's talk about lettuces. You need to avoid romaine lettuce right now because there are people that have gotten very ill from it. They're not sure of the source yet. So spinach is a great substitute, or of course kale, arugula, things like this. I like to serve the steak almost as a steak salad. So let's come over here while the flavors in that avocado corn salsa are marinating. And let's cut the steak. Now look, as I start to cut the flank steak, you have to really watch where the grain goes, because you're always cutting against the grain or it's going to be really tough. Now remember when I told you to cook it to a super rare and then you can wrap it in aluminum foil? Well, this is the perfect medium rare now, and that's just from resting it enough, not cutting into it. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to layer that flank steak. This is great for tailgating. You want to do a big, big platter and everybody can help themselves to it. It's perfect. Now, one last thing I almost forgot. I love this salad dressing over the Fresh Market. It's the Mexican style Pepita Caesar salad, and I'm going to drizzle this into that salsa, mix it together. When I come back, I'm going to top it off and a little romesco. And let me tell you, all you snowbirds and all you relatives that are coming down from that Arctic blast, you deserve this, and a little strawberry shortcake too. We'll be back in a few minutes for a taste.
This looks absolutely fabulous, and I'll tell you what, that meat looks fantastic.
You know, flank steak is it's actually kind of pricey nowadays, but it was so underutilized other than by chefs, you know, and my mom really liked it. I like the flavor of it. You can do fajitas, so many different things. This would be fun, this balance wrapped in a fajita, but just as it is, with that brightness as the Pepito Caesar salad mixed in, it's just going to be perfect for all our northern friends that are headed south to unthaw.
Delicious. Website, the information is on our website, mysuncoast.com. Go check it out. Hit the dining link button. It'll take you right there. Thanks, Judy. This is really good.
Scott, I have some for you too. Don't worry.
All right, Judy, thanks so much.